We're back live here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee at 7 o'clock in the morning. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Happy Thursday, 10th day of October 2013. I am Dan Kuntz. Beautiful sunrise is just starting to get going here. Sun won't officially be up for about 12 more minutes, but we have already set a record today. It is cold. If you have not been outside yet, it's chilly. It's 30 degrees, and that ties the record that was set back in 2009 of 30 degrees, and we could get into the 20s because, as I mentioned yesterday at about this time, the temperature right after the sun goes up, and for about that 20-minute to half-hour period, once the sun goes over the East Wenatchee bench, is when we actually get to the coldest part of the day, and it could very well notch down to 29 or 28 before this show is over. It happened yesterday. We tied the record yesterday, also 30 degrees, which was the coldest temperature for October 9th, tied the record set back in 1985. We've already tied the record today. We could break the record today through the course of this show. That forecast is coming up. Sunshine's not the issue. It's going to be lots of sunshine, just like it was yesterday and in the foreseeable future, but the temperatures are going to be very chilly. Yesterday's high, only 50. Our normal high is supposed to be 65. We were 15 degrees below normal yesterday, and it's going to be chilly for the rest of this week and right into the weekend. Forecast details are coming up. We got sports, big homecoming game tomorrow night for the Eastmont Wildcats. They host the Davis Pirates. We will be there. We'll have the game live for you. We'll preview it when we get to sports. And for you Dodger fans out there, I don't know what to tell you. It was a highly entertaining baseball game, but for the 31st year in a row, the Los Angeles Dodgers will not be world champions. Be gentle with Grant today, all right? He's a big Dodger fan. Anyway, we got sports to get to. Also, of course, your latest headlines. We have Today in History. We got some birthdays. We got the obscure holiday. Everybody is entitled to my honest opinion. And we have two separate interview segments coming your way in the back half of this program. Ginny Kerstetter and Shannen Itterley dropped by. They're members of the Calvary Crossroads Church congregation. They're having their annual Pay It Forward event Saturday at the church on Maple Street. You'll have that conversation with Ginny and Shannen. And then also, Congresswoman Kim Schreier was in town a couple of days ago, and she sat down in the studio with her very own Jefferson Robbins, and we'll have a segment of that conversation. Jefferson and his conversation with the Congresswoman will also come up in the back half of the hour. 30 chilly degrees outside at 3 minutes after the hour. Let's do it. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras. Again, sun's not quite up yet. It's getting there. Sunrise officially at 7:12. Sunset tonight at 6:23, 11 hours and 11 minutes of daylight. That is fog, by the way. Fog will form this time. We have a big ridge of high pressure, but of course the problem is that very cold and very dry Canadian air mass has settled down to the region, which is why we do get some fog that forms. It will burn off. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine today. If you need your vitamin D, not an issue. It's just not going to be real warm. That's all. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Good morning, everybody who's starting your day with us. We do appreciate it, as usual. From this point forward, of course, Megan gets to decide what cameras we're going to use, and she says, let's say hello to that area there with the water. Help me out, Megan. Oh, that's Stamen Flats? You moved it on me, Megan. You're allowed to do that. That's cool. Stamen Flats. Of course, that's up there off US 97A on your way up to Shannen, the mighty Columbia, looking good. It seems a little brighter there, doesn't it, than it does here in the Wenatchee Valley. Good morning, Stamen Flats. Good morning, Douglas County. Thanks for joining us. Boy, with the cold weather, the trees are really starting to change colors very dramatically over the last few days. It's pretty out, isn't it? Camera number 3. Hi, Apollones. Good morning, Kashmir. Again, that is fog. A mixture of some smoke, but most of that, what you see, that haze, is fog. It will burn off once the sun gets going. Good morning, Kashmir. It's good to have you on board. We had a really good time, by the way, in Kashmir last Friday night to do the Kashmir Bulldogs Omak Pioneers game, and we're endeavoring to do a Kashmir girls soccer game at the end of this month. Stay close for details. Camera number 4 is a beautiful view of the Omi Oh My. That's the Omi Gardens camera. I think Omi Gardens has just about a week left. That's about it. Omi Gardens is going to be part of the Make a Difference Day celebrations coming up on the 26th. They're going to be doing some cleanup and some winterizing at Omi Gardens. They'll be looking for some volunteers. I believe Link Transit is going to be helping them out there. So you do have some time to get to Omi Gardens if you haven't been up for their 90th year this year, but you're running out of time. Gorgeous view there of the Wenatchee Valley. Kudos to Megan. She picked some good cameras this morning, 5 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Your chilly weather forecast. 52 is at it. That's all we're going to get to. Again, we only hit 50 yesterday. Our normal high is supposed to be 65, so chilly, chilly, chilly. Again, we had that cool and very dry Canadian air mass. You notice how low the humidity is getting? Very dry air. So it's settled into the region. Everybody's going to get lots of sunshine, but the trade-off is very chilly temperatures. And I will take that trade-off. I have no problems with lots of sunshine in 52, even though it's supposed to be 65. I'd rather have sunshine in 52 than clouds in 52, as there's a large-scale upper-level ridge slowly working its way around the west coast. So we got high pressure. By the way, the high pressure is going to start breaking down over the weekend. Going to make things a little more unsettled. But again, lots of sunshine today, high of 52. We did tie the record yesterday. Wednesday's low of 30, tied the record for the coldest temperature for October 9th. The other time they hit 30 degrees was back in 1985. We have already done it today. We are at 30 degrees, a record low temperature for October 10th, 30 degrees. Set back in 2009, and we could very well dip down into the 20s in the next few minutes. I'll keep a very close eye on the temperature. But again, lots of sunshine, just cold. Certainly for mid-October anyway. It feels more like mid-November. And that is a look at your forecast from the National Weather Service. Going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your headlines on this Thursday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion of CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
People are really skeptical of our industry. They have been sold products, they have been sold policies they either don't need, don't understand, confusing. I understand that. We are more about the process and the people. Our SFG roadmap is designed to take care of all of those concerns. For those that have questions about their retirement, we would love the opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
Welcome back. 8 minutes after the hour, and we have done it. During our commercial break, our thermometer went down a couple of degrees. We're at 28 degrees in downtown Wenatchee. That's a new record low for October 10th. Lots of sunshine today, but pretty chilly. Here's what's making headlines on this Thursday. Shannen County Sheriff's detectives say an 88-year-old Wenatchee woman fell prey to a telephone scam, and it cost her about $30,000. Back in August, the victim received a series of phone calls saying a family friend was under arrest in Florida and that she could help, first by buying $8,000 worth of Macy's gift cards at the Wenatchee Valley Mall, and later by wiring $25,000 to a bank account in Miami. Now, her family learned of the scam, but they were only able to recover about $4,000 of the lost funds. Deputies have gathered bank records to help with the investigation. However, no suspects have been named. Researchers at Washington State University have found that the crime rate in the state has not changed significantly after the legalization of marijuana. The study looked at Washington and Colorado before and after those states decriminalized cannabis, and they compared 20 years of crime data. It found that crime in legal weed states was no greater than 21 other states where cannabis production and possession is still against the law. The research is due to be published in the journal Justice Quarterly. Speaking of quarterly, we got some good news and some bad news in the latest real estate snapshot for the Wenatchee area. Total home sales in the Wenatchee residential real estate market was up 23% in September of this year compared to 2018. The latest report from Pacific Appraisal and Associates show 107 home sales last month. That's up from 87 sales during the same time last year. However, sales are down 17% overall year to date over last year. Active home listings are up by 18% from last month, but also down 22% over last year. Both the median and average sales price of a home in the Wenatchee Valley are up. Not surprisingly, the median sales price is now at $345,000. That's up 6% from last year. The average sales price is up 4% compared to 2018, $371,852. A 24-year-old Peshestan man is going to serve more than 12 years for firing a handgun into his family's home. Juan Manuel Onatea Pina pleaded guilty Monday to charges of first-degree assault. Last November, Pina fired multiple shots into the door and the bedroom window of the home late at night while his family was sleeping. Now, he was initially charged with attempted murder, but he said he had no memory of the crime. His sentence from Judge Leslie Allen includes a mandatory 5-year enhancement for the use of a firearm. Washington saw increases in the rate of sexually transmitted diseases over the last 4 years, including an almost 72% increase in the rate of gonorrhea. New figures from the state and the Centers for Disease Control shows those rates are rising across the country. Washington reported more than 11,000 new cases of gonorrhea last year compared to 6,200 in 2014. Rates for chlamydia and syphilis also up. In the Wenatchee Valley, there were 79 new gonorrhea cases reported last year and 466 cases of chlamydia. If you believe you've been exposed to a sexually transmitted disease, the State Department of Health recommends testing and treatment at your local health clinic. Well, this Saturday at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, they're hosting a low-cost rabies vaccination clinic. It's happening from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock again on Saturday morning. It's for low-income pet owners. Our very own Megan McPherson has more.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Leticia Perez, the clinic program coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And can you tell us about your rabies clinic that's happening this Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday from 9 to 11, we will be having a low-cost rabies clinic here at the Humane Society. It is first come, first served, but you're welcome to register prior to the day. You can just come to the Humane Society and show proof of low income, as well as you can either go online and look up the information. The fee for it is $10 for the first pet and $5 for additional pets. And we invite anyone from the community to come, and as long as you are low income, you just bring proof of it, and that would be it.
By the way, it's required by law to have your pets vaccinated for rabies. Well, Shannen Fire and Rescue held a ceremony on Tuesday to pay tribute to former Chief Tim Lemon, who passed away, of course, last month of pancreatic cancer. The tribute included a flag ceremony with the flag flying at half-mast outside the fire station for 10 days to represent the 10 years Lemon served as chief. Services for Lemon, by the way, will be held Monday at 1 o'clock at the New Life Church in Renton. And those are your headlines at 14 minutes after the hour. Some of the stories that we're working on for the news tonight with Grant Olson. Let's check in with Grant himself. Oh, we don't have that. Sorry. But trust me, we'll be working on a newscast tonight with Grant Olson. And again, be gentle with Grant. He's a Dodger fan, so he did not have a very pleasant Wednesday night. The news with Grant Olson will come your way coming up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Eric Granston will be handling sports duties. They both do it quite well. The news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, available to watch on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com. You can watch it whenever you want to. We'll have it up and posted right around 5 o'clock or so. You can check it out that way, and we'd love to hear from you. You can use our website as a communications tool. There's a contact us icon at ncwlife.com. Fill out the form, push send, and we get it. You can use our Facebook page if you so desire, and just message us. Love to hear from you. Or you can just send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. 28 degrees outside of our studios. We have set a new record low. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places, we have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
We're back at 16 minutes after the hour on this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's do sports. How you doing out there, Dodger fans? You okay? I know you're crushed. It was tough if you're a Dodger fan. Wow. It was a great game. Washington hit 2 homers in the 8th inning. That tied it at 3 apiece. And then in extra innings, Howie Kendrick, who was a former Dodger, hit a grand slam home run at the top of the 10th inning. And they move on to the National League Championship Series. They beat the Dodgers 7-3. LA built an early 3-0 lead. Max Muncy had a 2-run home run in the first. Enrique Hernandez had a solo shot in the second. Walker Buehler cruised. He threw 6 2/3. He had 1 run, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. Things were looking good. And then came the top of the 8th inning. It's an elimination game. Season's on the line. Everybody is available. So Dodger manager Dave Roberts brought in Clayton Kershaw, brought him out of the bullpen, got the final out in the 7th inning, and then in the 8th inning, he gave up back-to-back home runs to Anthony Rendon and Juan Soto. The lead was gone. Kershaw was gone. The boos rained down on Dodger Stadium. The Nationals loaded the bases in the 10th on a leadoff walk to Adam Eaton, then a ground rule double by Anthony Rendon, and then the intentional walk to Juan Soto. Don't know why they did that. Kendrick's grand slam came off Joe Kelly on an 0-1 pitch. The fans started streaming out of Dodger Stadium before the final out of the game was done. LA's at-bat in the bottom half of the 9th inning was to a partial sellout. Oh, poor Dodger fans. So the Nationals move on. They will travel to St. Louis, Game 1 of the National League Championship Series tomorrow at 5:08 on TBS. The Cardinals, on the other hand, they left no doubt that they win Wednesday. They scored a record 10 runs in the first inning. They crushed the Braves 13-1. 14 men came to the plate for the Cards. It was postseason history. It's never happened before. The Cards had 5 players with 2 RBIs. St. Louis advances to their 14th National League Championship Series. So there's just one division series left to be decided. Of course, we're talking about the Astros and the Rays. The Rays will start Tyler Glasnow tonight. The Astros will go with Garrett Cole. First pitch at Minute Maid Park, 4:07. And you can watch that game on FS1. One score to pass along from Prep Girls Soccer from yesterday. Cascade pounded Pateras 1-0. This was a game that was moved up from yesterday to today, or from today to yesterday. On the schedule for today in Prep Girls Soccer, Omak will host Shannen. Kashmir is at Okanagan. They start at 4. Also at 4, it's Quincy playing host to Grandview. At 4:30, you got Manson at Lake Roosevelt. Tonight at 6, it's East Valley at Ephrata. Lots of prep volleyball. It's a crowded schedule. It gets going at 5:30 in Aniat. The Tigers will host Riverside Christian. 3 games start at 6:30. Waterville-Mansfield travels to Tenasket. Manson will host Bridgeport. Kashmir is at Okanagan at 7 o'clock. You got Ephrata at Wapato. Wenatchee's in Sunnyside. Eastmont will host West Valley, the defending state champions, at 7. Kids swim. Everybody in the pool. The Eastmont swim team on the road today. They'll take on West Valley and Sunnyside at Lions Pool in Yakima. Also, Moses Lake goes up against Davis and Eisenhower. It begins at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Can't forget about the runners. A couple of cross-country meets today in the CWAC. You see, you got East Valley hosting Ephrata, Toppenish, and Wapato. Also, Quincy, guys Prosser and Sela. Both runs will get going at 5 o'clock. Big 9 football tomorrow night under the lights. Eastmont celebrates homecoming. The Davis Pirates in town. We'll have the game live, of course, right here on the NCW Live channel with Eric Grandstrom and Grant Olson. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Eric spoke with Wildcat coach Michael Don about homecoming week and the challenge it can be to get the players to focus on football.
Maybe that game before homecoming was the best thing for us. It's always good to get a kick in the pants the week before homecoming because this is always a hard week to get high school kids to focus. They're worried about dates and cars and dinners and dances and all kinds of other stuff, volleyball games and whatever else they can come up with to do. But they've been pretty focused up and they're ready to get back after it and play good football.
Of course, the Wildcats are undefeated, 5-0. They're ranked in the top 10 in 4A football across the strait. Don says narrowly defeating West Valley double overtime last week was a good reminder for his team.
We just got to be more consistent and have a better week of practice. I thought last week we didn't have a very good week of practice, and it showed. And, this week our kids have been a lot more focused, and they now understand we're not, impenetrable. We can't just walk through everybody, and that could be the tough part when you roll through the non-leagues. But it was a good opener for us in league, and it showed us a lot of what we got to work on and things teams can do to us. And this week we're hoping to get back on track and play better.
Pre-game at 6:45, kickoff at 7 o'clock tomorrow night right here on the NCW Life channel for the Wenatchee Panthers. They're on the road, second week in a row. They'll be taking on the West Valley Rams. Coach Scott Devereaux says he thinks they saw some things on film that the Panthers might be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, Vandenbreek's a really good football player. Excellent wide receiver. Makes big plays, catch the ball short, make guys miss. Our plan is not to give the quarterback very much time and put some pressure on him. So the first game of the season, or second game of the season, they played Kamiakin. Kamiakin is a blitz-heavy team. We saw some things from that game we really liked. Also, Sunnyside blitzed them quite a bit and were successful. And I think up front we're a little stronger than Sunnyside. So we're going to give them some of what they don't like. And we're going to be bouncing around and bring guys from different angles and playing some man coverage and getting after it.
So again, that's a road game for the Wenatchee Panthers down at West Valley Stadium. The kickoff tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. By the way, Moses Lake will try to win their first game of the season. They'll take on Eisenhower at Zeffel Stadium in Yakima also at 7 o'clock. For the rest of the prep football schedule for tomorrow night, game of the week, probably in Omak. The Pioneers will host Cascade tomorrow night. Cashmere at Shannen, the 66th battle of the old bronze shoe. The Goats, by the way, haven't held the shoe since 2014. The Battle of the Basin is in Ephrata. The Tigers will host Quincy. That rivalry is a good one. Manson's at Kettle Falls. In the Battle of the Hyphens, it's Waterville, Mansfield, Simon and Garfunkel. They will be hosting Elmira, Cooley, Hardline, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And Aniat is at Soap Lake. Lots of football. Wear your long underwear, by the way, tomorrow night. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday, 22 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday, I had four to choose from. A National Curves Day. It's National Angel Food Cake Day. It's National Handbag Day, but we're going to go with National Cake Decorating Day. It celebrates, it's always on October 10th. It's celebrating those creative artists who take cake design and take it to another level. Good cake decorators are few and far between. Most of them start out as a hobbyist. They decorate cakes as a hobby, and then they get really good at it. And some of these are just phenomenally good. I feel kind of bad when you go to a birthday party or an anniversary or any special occasion. They have a very elaborated, very beautifully decorated cake, and then we just cut it up and we eat it. There are 6 different types of icing or frosting. I did not know that. Learned that on the internet. But anyway, decorate cakes. There's nothing like a decorated cake. A cake is fine. We're going to eat it, but a super nice decorated cake, perfect for any themed party or event. And we want to celebrate the people who are really good at doing that. National Cake Decorating Day. It's a talent I simply do not have. There's a lot of talents I don't have. We won't get into that. That'll be another holiday. Today in history, it's the 10th day of October, back in 1845, 174 years ago, in Annapolis, Maryland. It was called originally the Naval School. Now, of course, it's the United States Naval Academy. It opens its doors for the very first time on the state back in 1845. 50 midshipmen and 7 professors. You see that building there? That's a really, really big building. It's called Bancroft Hall. It's the largest single dormitory in the world. All 4,000 midshipmen who attend the United States Naval Academy live at Bancroft Hall. It has 1,700 rooms, 4.8 miles of hallways, 33 acres of floor space. That's one big dormitory. It's the biggest in the world, and they all live there. Happy birthday, 174th birthday to the United States Naval Academy. And Annapolis, Maryland, by the way, is one of the most beautiful towns around. Gorgeous. They picked a good place to put the Naval Academy. Happy 53rd birthday to one of the greatest songs ever, Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. Was released 53 years ago today. It's one of the masterpieces of rock music. Every time I hear Good Vibrations, and I've probably heard it 1,000 times, I find something new. It took 7 months to record that song. They used 4 different studios. It cost $75,000 to make one song, and it was worth every penny. Good Vibrations, one of the greatest rock and roll songs ever. You could go out and buy it on this date 53 years ago today, and not surprisingly, it went to number 1. And my favorite vice president of all time is Spiro Agnew. And, well, he got caught with his hand in the till. The Vice President of the United States, Spiro T. Agnew, on this day back in 1973, resigns. He was charged with 1 count of evasion of federal income tax. He didn't have to serve a day in prison. It turns out when he was the governor of Maryland, he was taking kickbacks from construction projects. You're not supposed to do that. And when he became vice president, he goes, I don't want to give up my kickbacks. I like my swanky lifestyle. I want my money under the table. You're going to get caught eventually. Spiro T. Agnew, my favorite vice president, lost his job 46 years ago today. Let's do some birthdays. Jazz giant Thelonious Monk, the American pianist and composer. The guy was a jazz legend, was born in the state in 1917, 102 years ago. Round Midnight, Blue Monk, Straight No Chaser, one of the great jazz classics of all time. The guy was a genius. Thelonious Monk, the guy can play piano. Was born in the state in 1917. Didn't live very long. Most jazz legends don't. Passed away in 1982 at the age of 64. We miss Thelonious Monk. Peter Coyote, the American actor, the director, the screenwriter, 78 years old. Of course, I remember him on E.T. Then he was in Patch Adams and Deadwood. The last 7 documentaries produced by Ken Burns have all been narrated by Peter Coyote. He does a very good job, and he's 78 years old today. Brett Favre is 50, one of the greatest quarterbacks in American football history. He still has a lot of NFL records. Most career pass completions, most career pass attempts, interceptions thrown, consecutive starts by a player, most times sacked, most fumbles. When he retired, he was the all-time leader in passing yards and passing touchdowns. That record has been broken by both Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2016. Happy 50th birthday, Brett Favre. And speaking of legends in the world of sports, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 45 years old today. He's an American race car driver, formerly. He dabbles in acting now, and of course he has his own race team. He's been retired for quite some time. I wonder what it's like to be retired at the age of 45. Happy birthday to Dale Jr. All right, 27 minutes after the hour. Got a lot going on between now and the top of the hour. My conversation with Ginny Kerstetter and Shannen, Itterley, from the Calvary Crossroads Church. Their Pay It Forward event is coming up this Saturday. You don't want to miss that. They'll talk about that. Also, Congresswoman Kim Schreier was in the Wenatchee Valley a couple of days ago. Our very own Jefferson Robbins had a chance to sit down and have a very informative conversation with her. We'll have a snippet of that coming up in the back half of the hour. Plus, we have Everyone is Entitled to Mike McNally's Opinion. And another look at that forecast. We are at 28 degrees. We have set a new record low for October 10th. All of that's coming up. But first things first, Precious the cat needs a home. It's Kettle Cameos with Megan McPherson.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We're here with Leticia, the clinic program coordinator of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and this week we are looking at Precious. Can you tell us about Precious?
Sure. Precious is a 4-year-old little girl. Her owners did unfortunately pass away. She was left here. She is declawed and she loves being in a room with other cats. She's really shy. So if she did have another cat, probably best just to get her out of her shell a little bit. Like I said, she is declawed, so she does need to be indoors only. When they're declawed, they don't do good outdoors. So if you're looking for a cat that you want in your house that won't ruin your furniture, she's your girl. She would prefer a home that's pretty quiet, like I said, because she is shy. A quiet home would be best for her. Right now she's a little nervous because all of the scary noises that are around her, but she does come around. She's really sweet.
Yeah. And if someone's interested in adopting her, what should they do?
If someone's interested in adopting her, they can come down, they could meet her. Her adoption fee is $65, and just paperwork. That's all you need to do to have her in your home.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse? Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master, Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing, located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
If you want to work in IT, here's a tip. Employers value IT certifications. 91% say they play a key role in hiring. 72% require them for certain job openings. Improve your odds of getting the job. Enroll in the Computer Networking Systems program at Charter College. In 14 months, you could earn an associate degree and 6 IT certifications. Get started at chartercollege.edu/IT, where we work to get you to work.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
After 21 years at the Lake Chelan Mailboxes store, Jerry and Sherry are ready to retire. Jerry and Sherry would like to thank everyone and give some lucky person a business opportunity. That's right, you could own a great small business in Lake Chelan with a proven track record. This includes FedEx, UPS, and USPS services, making it a unique offer. For information on buying Chelan mailboxes, call Jerry or Sherry, and while you're there, wish them well.
Push it, throw it, scrape it. Show the snow who's boss with versatile, durable, and maneuverable Bobcat compact equipment. Bobcat has the industry's largest selection of snow handling equipment and attachments. Cut through snow and ice fast, all from the comfort of a warm cab. Bobcat compact equipment, one tough animal.
Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, in grade school, I was taught that George Washington never told a lie. Really, never? I mean, come on. And then I was taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Well, no, he didn't, okay? Eric the Red probably got here 500 years earlier, and it wasn't even North America where Christopher Columbus landed, okay? And here's another good one. Native Americans and Pilgrims ate turkey on the first Thanksgiving. I don't think so. Who makes up this stuff, and why did they cram it down my throat when I was too young to challenge them? And you want to know what else? Another huge lie that I was told? I have searched numerous people-seeking sites. I have used many search engines, and I've looked all over the internet, and I can't even find one person named John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, let alone 2. Now, I say it's time to promote honesty in education. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
My awesome is being part of the Nez Perce tribe. We have a tourism company, and we highlight the history and culture of the Nez Perce people. I found Washington Trust Bank because they were very involved in the community. They believed in me. They definitely saw the need for this in our region. All the folks at Washington Trust Bank are phenomenal. They've done such a wonderful job helping me along my journey.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, we'll help you get there.
When you're ready to purchase your next vehicle, make sure you stop by Sangster Motors. They're your locally owned and operated Buick and GMC dealer offering 4 acres of new and quality used inventory. Their philosophy is simple. They offer you the best product at a competitive price, all with impeccable service. Stop in today, have some popcorn or coffee at Gear Up Java, let the kids play, and talk with one of the Sangsters about your next vehicle. You'll find them on the corner of 9th and Miller in Wenatchee or online at sangstermotors.com. Caring about your family is what brings you back to theirs.
Shop the Ashley Home Store grand opening sale this weekend. Shop the incredible savings you'll find store-wide. Sofas starting at $4.99. Get 50% off this hybrid queen mattress, now only $4.49, with free memory foam pillow. And save on reclining sofas starting at $5.99. Free giveaways every weekend. Enter to win your choice. Plus, no interest for up to 60 months. Celebrate the unbeatable savings at this grand opening sale. Hurry in now. Ashley Home Store. This is home. Next to Davis Furniture in downtown Wenatchee.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Saturday is going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be sunny, a little cool, but it's not going to stop the folks at Calvary Crossroads Church. They're going to pay it forward again this year. It takes place at the church parking lot all over the church on this Saturday. And here to talk about it, Ginny Kerstetter is no stranger to this program. She's been on here before. And you brought a friend. You brought Shannen Itterley with you.
I did.
Yeah. How did you get roped into coming to do this show, Shannen? Because obviously you're being punished for some reason.
Right, obviously. My parents are Dale and Sherelle Fields, and they're kind of the founders of Pay It Forward, and they couldn't be here, so here I am.
Here you are. But it's been a great event. Obviously, whenever you can put the word annual after an event, that means it's working and people like it, Ginny.
Yep.
It's happening again. Same thing as usual, all that good stuff, flu shots, haircuts, the whole 9 yards. Walk me through it.
Actually, this year we've added flu shots.
Okay.
So flu shots are an added, I guess, bonus or treat. And otherwise, we're still doing the same format, giving out, offering a hot lunch, offering free groceries, free coats, hats, gloves.
Just in the nick of time, I might add.
Just in the nick of time,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and then free dental services still, and which we are completely booked. I am sorry to say, but it's okay. You know what? We put them on a waiting list and do what we can do to get them in.
This is going to sound like a really crazy question, Shannen, but I'm going to ask you why. Why do you do this?
This idea in my family started when I was a little girl. We used to deliver food bags and coats and blankets to people experiencing homelessness in Seattle. And when we moved over to Wenatchee, the need was just a little different. And then my parents had a cousin over on the west side that were doing something really similar to this at their church, and they said, you got to come check it out. If you've got a heart for this still in Wenatchee, then you've got to come check it out. And so they did, and they said, this is exactly what we want to do. This is perfect. So they recreated it. They added a little bit and tweaked a little bit and to cater the valley and the valley's needs. And here we are.
Do you have any problems getting the people involved that you needed to make this happen, from food banks to Parsons with the free?
No.
Pretty much a no-brainer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the word is out there now, like you said. You mentioned Pay It Forward. People know exactly what we're talking about now, and people want to get on board now. They want to be part of something like this and just being able to help in this community and just paying it forward to our community.
Is it all hands on deck for the congregation there at Calvary Crossroads?
Oh, yeah.
Is it pretty much everybody going to be there?
Yeah, and
A
then
good portion.
some.
Yeah.
And, some from outlying the community, too, that have stepped up and said, hey, we want to help with this. How can we help? So.
Talk about the genesis of this. You mentioned that, you came over and you brought it with, and it was just kind of, somebody's got to organize it, somebody's got to put it together, somebody's got to make sur it happens from a logistical standpoint.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So my mom and dad had gone over to see it happen over at this other church, and then they went to the congregation at Calvary Crossroads, the elder board, and asked if they could kind of sponsor this, if that it was an event that they would be interested in doing, and they were very excited about it. So they got right on board, and then the logistics take a lot of planning. And
Yeah, it
so she got a really solid team together. Ginny's on that team. And
Ginny is hard to say no to, by the way. Yeah.
Ginny is amazing. And as it got this really great team together, then that has kind of umbrellaed out to the different things. And then I think, like anything, you tweak it as you go. And so they've seen what works and what doesn't work and where the need really lies and focused on those areas.
And the number one need is we talk about this a lot in this program. Obviously, there's a homeless situation. Affordable housing is, but it all kinds of dovetails into food. I mean, that's the biggest. People need food. People need to eat, and you can get food.
Yeah. Especially this time of year. People are coming into a really hard time. Fourth quarter is always a really hard time for homelessness and the working poor. So.
Yeah. And there's a lot of working poor. It's amazing. You can go out and have a full-time job and you still can't afford a place to live and put gas in your car.
Yep.
I don't want to forget, and coats, yeah.
Coats are expensive.
Sure, yeah, absolutely they are.
So
I don't want to forget anything. So the dental thing, you can't get in on that. That's all sold out, so to speak.
But they can still get a flu vaccine.
They can still get it. So I don't want to forget anything that's going on at Calvary Crossroads. Again, it's from 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock on Saturday. Outside of the dental thing, which unfortunately has now been booked up, everything that is available to anybody who wants to drop by. I don't want to miss anything, so walk me through the list.
I'm gonna focus on the kid area, and then I'll let you focus on some of the other
the
stuff.
kid area.
I run the kids area at Calvary Crossroads Church year round, so that's my heart. So we have bounce houses, face painting, little gift bags, art projects for the kids to do. We want this to be a very fun day for people, kids and adults alike, so that they can come in and feel just uplifted by the day. And so, and then there's family photography services too. So Parsons Photography is partnering with us, and
for them.
Thank you.
yeah, it's amazing. And they're going to do free family photos. And so those are the really fun kid areas that I don't want to forget to mention. And then we've
And
got, go
Ginny,
ahead.
everything else.
So we are offering free haircuts and free nail services and free flu vaccines, as I mentioned, a hot lunch, and then the coats, hats, and mittens, gloves, hats, and then everything is while supplies last.
Right.
Unfortunately, the first year we ran out of stuff.
Yeah, and
Second
you don't want to
year,
do that.
yeah, so we beefed it up a little bit, and so we're hoping this year that we've really accounted for the increase in numbers. So.
There's
Yep.
also going to be a lot of community vendors there to
Yes.
provide information for healthcare, and WorkSource will be there, and lots of different resources from the valley that people can access, just to bring awareness if people just don't know might not know what's out there.
Yeah.
It starts at 11. Are people going to be in line at 9, that kind of deal? I mean, because you mentioned in years past you've run out of stuff. What if you show up it goes from 11 to 3. If you show up at 2 o'clock or 2:30 hoping to get a haircut, can you be out of line, that kind of deal?
Nope,
Okay.
nope, that they will be able to do.
And the
Those
hot
people
lunch.
stay there.
And the
Yeah,
hot lunch,
those
okay.
people stay there. Those services that are rendered, like the nails, the haircuts and things, they stay there. They're very gracious to be there. They'll stay until the crowds go home. So.
And now my favorite question to Shannon and Ginny, how much does it cost? And the answer is
Zero.
How much does it cost if it's free is one of my favorite
All
things.
free.
Calvary Crossroads Church is on Maple Street. You can't miss it. It's going to be full of people. It's anybody can drop by. No questions asked. Whatever it is,
questions asked.
come by and see him. It'll be a great time. Ginny, and thanks for bringing Shannon by.
Thank you
by
for
the way.
having me.
Yeah. Give me a follow-up. Get a hold of me Monday or Tuesday. Let me know how it went, because I know you usually have 600-700 people show up
Yeah.
at this event.
I will do that.
Yeah, it's
Thank
good to
you,
see you,
Dan.
Ginny.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to come by,
Okay.
you got an open invitation.
All right. Thank you.
We'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging in Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because when it came back, both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked. Like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
You're watching the NCW Life channel. I'm here with Congresswoman Kim Schreier. Congresswoman, back in January, shortly after your swearing in, you signed on to H.R. 8, which was a bill to require universal background checks on all firearms sales. And it passed the House a month later, on February 27th. It stalled in the Senate. Since it passed the House that February, there have been 279 mass shootings in the United States, which killed 286 people and injured more than 1,200 people. This is according to the Gun Violence Archive. What can any new federal law, like the one that you signed on to, what can it do to stem that tide? It seems like it's a really uphill climb at this point.
This should not be an uphill climb. We just spoke about some of the issues that you can focus on where it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Look, I'm a mom, and I send my child off to public school every day, and I don't think any parent should have to worry about their child's safety at school. I mean, think about how absurd it is that the words school and shooting are even in the same sentence. And I would say, as a pediatrician who takes care of teenagers, lots of whom are depressed, that we don't want guns to be accessible to a teenage boy in crisis. And these are not partisan issues, and the fact is that 90+% of the population of this country thinks we should have good background checks for people who want to buy a gun. I think that's just plain common sense, right? Don't sell them to people with a history of domestic violence and other criminal activity. And we passed that easily in the House in a bipartisan fashion. And it's waiting on Mitch McConnell's desk. And I think that the big question there is, why not bring that up for a vote? It would easily sail through the Senate and possibly even get a signature from the president. And I can only think that it is the outsized influence of the NRA in our politics that is driving these very bad decisions.
To be clear, no gun control legislation of any meaningful sort has passed this Congress all the way through both houses at this point.
That's right. It's deeply disappointing. And I think that all of us could agree also that just having child access prevention would be a good idea, right? My 11-year-old can't get into my iPhone without a fingerprint, and he does that. He tries to pull my thumb over to the phone. But anybody, a 3-year-old, could pick up a gun and pull a trigger. That's wrong.
We touch on what legislation can do and how it has to go. It has to go to the president to become authorized. And in September, you posted an online survey on public support for the impeachment inquiry, asking your constituents, what do you think? What's been the response to that online survey?
So this is a very purple district, and the responses at that moment were pretty close to evenly split, a little bit more in favor of an inquiry. I think that things are shifting. And what I can tell you from my conversations all around this district is that while people may not at this moment want impeachment, what I'm asking for is an inquiry. I just think that people deserve to know what's happened. And since there's been stonewalling by this administration, left and right, the people in this district deserve to know what's happened. This is a serious matter. When a president seeks or even extorts favors from a foreign government for his own personal and political gain, abuses the power of his office, and then undermines our democracy. That's something that is not an issue of partisanship. That's an issue of whether you believe in our country. It's a patriotic issue.
Now, this is in line with the statement that you made even before your survey. On July 28th, you announced you were on board with the idea of an impeachment inquiry. You supported that based on the findings in the Mueller report. There are other things that have happened since the events of the 2016 election. There's emoluments questions surrounding this president. There's private properties being rented by government agencies and by foreign visitors that are owned by the president. But Ukraine seems to be what people have honed in on. Why is that a bridge too far for this Congress when we've had all this other evidence or appearance of wrongdoing out in the open for quite some time?
All of the issues you mentioned are highly concerning. This one issue with Ukraine, with the abuse of power, with seeking personal and political gain, with betraying the country, with knowing that it was wrong, knowing enough to hide the evidence, that is happening right now and threatening our 2020 elections. This is what I would look at as a clear and present danger. All of the other controversies swirling around are concerning and abhorrent in many ways, but they aren't threatening our democracy in quite the same tangible way. And so this is easy to understand. I can tell you that although our president doesn't seem to know that he did anything wrong, everybody in the White House knows they tried to hide the evidence, and everybody in the 8th District knows the difference between right and wrong. So this is an easy to grasp one. That's why it's getting this much attention.
Do you expect impeachment to be the first order of business when you're back in D.C. starting on October 15th?
No, bringing down the cost of prescription drugs is the first order of business, and getting good trade agreement is the other first order of business.
Well, can these two things work in parallel? I mean, can the impeachment inquiry, which is going to take up a lot of news time and suck up a lot of public attention, can that go forward at the same time? We're dealing with things like prescription drugs, or dealing with things like trying to get a better health care plan for Americans?
So I think that's a great question, and I think the answer about whether we can walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time very much depends on what our president decides to do. That if he really wants to deliver for the American people, and he really wants to bring down the cost of prescription drugs, if he wants an infrastructure package, then it's really up to him, because he can tell Mitch McConnell what to bring up for a vote and what not to. And so I think it's just, do you rise to this occasion and say, look, there is an impeachment inquiry going on, but that's not going to stop me from governing, or do you dig your heels in? And that is entirely in his control.
Congresswoman Kim Schreier, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCW Life channel.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station. We're back here at Studio 10 in downtown Wenatchee on this Thursday morning. We hope you enjoyed the little snippet of that conversation between Jefferson Robbins and Congresswoman Kim Schreier. You'll see more of that conversation on Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And we're gearing up our election coverage. We will be having, I believe, 7 special programs, basically profiling all of the contested races in north central Washington, including for the mayor of East Wenatchee, some council races in both Wenatchee and East Wenatchee that are being contested, and some other mayoral candidates in other areas. So we'll be looking forward to that and those special programs as we lead up towards the general election, which is coming up on Tuesday, November 5th. So we'd like to have our voters as informed as possible. All right, if you're just joining us, our record low temperature on this date, October 10th, 30 degrees, was set back in 2009, 10 years ago. We have broken it. We got down to 28 degrees about 45 minutes ago, and we remain at 28 degrees. It's very, very cold, especially for this time of year, and it's going to stay that way from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at your forecast one more time. Sunshine is not going to be the problem, so, you need your vitamin D. You can go out and get it, but, of course, the trade-off is very chilly temperatures over the next couple of days. Wednesday's high, yesterday we only hit 50. Our normal high is supposed to be 65. We tied the record for the coldest temperature for October 9th yesterday. We have already broken it for today, and it's going to be chilly. What happened is, of course, we had that cool and very dry Canadian air mass came down and paid us a visit, while at the same time a ridge of high pressure built up, and that has trapped the cold air down here on the valley floor. That's where we have some morning fog and a little bit of inversion. It will burn off as the day goes through, and this is going to be the case really right on into the weekend. However, on Saturday night and on into Sunday, that high pressure ridge, which is giving us the sunshine and the cold temperatures, is going to start breaking down. The trade-off there is it's going to start warming up a little bit, but we also have an increasing chance of precipitation. So let's go through it for today. Lots of sunshine. Again, about 52 for our high today. That is well below normal. It has been a very chilly October, especially if you look back at the history in the almanacs. This is not the way it's supposed to be. Clear tonight, 31 for the overnight low. That's close to a record again. Could happen. Very chilly. Friday, lots of sunshine. We're going to warm up to 55. Friday night, mostly clear. If you're going to go out and watch some high school football on Friday night, bundle up. It's going to get chilly again into the 30s. Saturday, partly sunny. This is when this high pressure ridge is giving us this sunny weather is going to start breaking down. That's going to be Saturday into Saturday night. So a little bit warmer, but a few more clouds and a high of 57 on Saturday. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, 41 for the overnight low. Lots of sunshine Sunday, and a high of 62 might be a good day to go out and hit the golf course while I still got a chance to do so. Sunday night, clear, 42 for the overnight low, so we're not going to get really cold for those overnight lows once we get past the next couple of days. Monday is Columbus Day, by the way. That's a federal holiday, so federal offices will be closed. We'll be here. We'll be working on Monday, but there won't be any mail delivery and banks, things like that. It'll be lots of sunshine and a high of 61, and then another little system will be coming in. Believe it or not, the weather that you see Tuesday and Wednesday, where's that weather coming from? It's coming from Japan. There's a typhoon that is crossing the North Pacific, and by the time they get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, the residual leftover of that typhoon is going to be affecting our weather here in north central Washington, with a chance of showers on Tuesday night and Wednesday under cloudy skies, and highs will be back up to near normal. But again, 28 degrees. We have set a new record low temperature for this 10th day of October. We did it yesterday. We could very well do it again overnight Thursday into Friday. My guests on this show tomorrow, whenever the Wenatchee Wild have a home series, we endeavor to head on down to the Town Toyota Center and visit with our good friends of the Wenatchee Wild. We had a chance to do that yesterday. You'll see that interview tomorrow. Nick Caffarelli, one of the leaders of the Wenatchee Wild. He is the center. He is very good. He's a goal-scoring and assist-scoring machine. We had a chance to get to know Nick Caffarelli, and we also talked to Coach Clarkey, assistant coach Chris Clark. We visited with him yesterday at the Town Toyota Center, and we'll have that interview for you tomorrow as the Wenatchee Wild get ready to host the West Kelowna Warriors coming up on Friday and Saturday. And by the way, for the week of Make a Difference Day, which is a big thing around here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's coming up on Saturday, October 26th. That week leading up to Make a Difference Day, all that week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we'll be profiling various projects for Make a Difference Day, and that includes our conversation with Laurel Hilton and Margie Kerr, two of my favorite people. We'll have that for you again in a couple of weeks. Stay warm out there, everybody, and provided this show isn't canceled, we'll see you Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.